Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John, that's my cohort and commentary Ashton, and this is our NXT review. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I love the main event angle, by which I mean O'Reilly and Cole. Those guys are doing amazing stuff. Great energy, great intensity. Could be a match of the year contender to come out of that takeover. And mid-card scene, with Johnny Gargano and North American title, they have found a very creative way to determine a number one contender, so I do admire the ingenuity. Women's tag titles are interesting. I like the TV time that it's giving certain underrepresented women. So those are all the positives. And we got Walter, and Walter's always a plus. But man, was a lot of trash also platformed on this show tonight. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm mixed on this. I think ultimately the stuff that was good was really good. So I'm like thumbs middle / thumbs up on this. But my God, I have skipped a lot in my notes tonight, guys. I'm just going to be out because there's just nothing I either don't want to say, or really nothing I do have to say in general. I feel like this is going to be a pretty quick review, at least on my side of things. I feel
like I've said this before, and it ended up not being right, but tonight I'm shooting my shot. I think we can do this in under 40 minutes.
I agree. So to keep that pace going, is there anything you want to say about NXT before we get to our first segment?
Let's get to our first segment.
Heat of the night. Again, always going to be heat of the night. Stop platforming garbage. Yeah. Other than that, it would just be redundant. I don't think I have really any complaints per
just
se.
So that if you're new, if there's a new viewer here, I want to list off everyone that we're not going to cover tonight because they're garbage. Okay. So, do we want to include Raquel in this or not?
Raquel is more green than garbage, isn't she? Unless you've heard something that I haven't.
She and Braun are an item. I know that.
That's kind of a gray area.
We'll keep that as a gray area, but LA Knight is the first definite skip.
Yes.
Let's see. I'm trying to find in some notes here. Karrion Kross.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, that's not too bad. Jordan Devlin.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say it because I'm like, dude, I'm really don't want to talk about that piece of shit tonight.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to go in order as best I can. I think that's it, actually, isn't it?
That should be, because, I mean, what Ciampa did tonight was very brief. I don't mind really talking about that.
Yeah, the Ciampa thing was more about Walter than Ciampa.
And Grimes, it was just a quick segment with Roderick. I don't mind touching on that either. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, but now that you've kind of recapped...
so the three main ones really are, the three main ones are LA Knight, Karrion Kross, and, of course, Jordan Devlin.
Yeah. God, I hate him so much. So do you have any heats of the night tonight?
Do you know what the worst part about the Jordan Devlin situation is?
What's that?
The fact that this piece of shit got exposed and is still employed despite being just so completely mediocre as a performer. Like, he does nothing that really makes me go like, oh, wow. Maybe if he improves his character, like his actual personal character, not his on-screen character, he's worth keeping around. There's just nothing there. He's the definition of a vanilla midget.
Yeah. That's all the oxygen I'm going to waste on that piece of shit. Do you have any heats of the night?
Ooh, damn, I hadn't even thought of heat of the night. I was much more concerned about just letting people that are here for the first time know that we don't cover pieces of shit. So I don't think I have any heats of the night other than just what we've already discussed. Like the fact that there's so many just trash people being platformed by NXT. It's almost amazing that we managed that we're kind of in an era where Velveteen Dream isn't being featured.
I know, dude. I actually went on his Twitter just out of curiosity to see if he said anything. WWE Shop has actually removed his merchandise. I don't know if that's been a thing for a while, but I just noticed it tonight.
I wonder if he's on the way out then. I wonder if they finally made that decision.
Yeah, you would think. It was a little late, but you fucking got there.
God,
So,
how many
yeah.
times does Triple H need to stand up for him at a press conference before they finally are like, all right, kid, you're getting too many questions. You got to fucking...
And you have fucking daughters, dude. Like, I don't fucking know.
Yes,
Jesus Christ.
That's true.
So, yeah, let's speedrun this shit. NXT review. We got Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Io and Zoe Stark. Solid back and forth matchup. Io looked fucking great in there. It's Io Shirai. Nobody's surprised. Raquel ultimately gets the pin on Zoe with, I'll admit this was an impressive visual because she held Zoe up in the air. She kicked Io off the apron and then delivered the powerbomb to Zoe. So that's really like flexing the dominance of the Raquel character.
We've actually given Raquel credit before because she is legitimately strong and she can do really impressive shit like that.
Yeah, she isn't like a Charlotte that overestimates her strength and hurts people.
Or Nia. She's better than
Nia
in that department for sure.
I don't think Saida's hurt people, but I think she definitely overestimates her strength.
Oh, she's definitely dropped Sayakami Tani on her head before. I've seen it.
Right. So, post-match, Io's crawling in the ring. Io's selling here, and her expressiveness were just fantastic.
She is fantastic. She's fucking amazing. I love her.
Absolutely. So she gets up. You can tell she's all breathy, and it's like, fuck, like, she's haggard, she's tired. She takes a shot at Dakota, because Dakota looks like she's going to run in. Then Raquel gets a boot. And then Raquel does a powerbomb to Io on the announce table. Table doesn't give because it's still got the covering on and everything. And Io just screams. I've never heard Io scream like that or be in pain like that. I was genuinely concerned for her, actually. I'm like, oh, fuck. Did the spot get fucked up? But I just think Io was selling it really, really well. Whatever you want to say about Raquel as a performer, and you and I have said a lot, and I stand by all of it. When you think about, in wrestling, perception is reality, and you're working with somebody that's as amazing at everything as Io is, Raquel has never looked better.
Yep.
She really, does look like a monster. She really looks like she would be capable of beating Io for that championship. So, in that regard, the segment came off beautifully because it really does position her as a threat. So, all in all, I think this tag match accomplished what it set out to do. Do you have anything you want to add?
I kind of find it interesting that they've basically positioned Zoe Stark in a similar position to where Shotzi was positioned in around this time last year.
Yeah, that's a fair point. The
singles match with Io, and then immediately teaming with Io afterwards. It's kind of an echo of the same story that they told with Shotzi last year, and I just think it's so weird that they are going with Zoe of all people. But we talked about that plenty of times already. If you want to hear us ask why Zoe Stark has been chosen to be pushed for whatever reason, you can go back and listen to that conversation in previous episodes. So,
absolutely,
that's all I got though.
All right, we get a recap of the O'Reilly Cole confrontation. I told you about that. Regal tweeted out. I already kind of talked about that in our Stardom live reactions, but just to touch on it, Cole confronts O'Reilly at a gym. O'Reilly quick with the double leg takedown. They brawl. They quickly get broken up. Blah, blah, blah. Then we get Kyle O'Reilly backstage, and Mackenzie, asks him, how he's feeling because Regal has summoned them both. There are going to be consequences tonight. And he, starts to answer. And then Roddy comes in, and he says, tonight you and I need to go out there, and we need to beat his ass. And Kyle makes it explicit to Roddy that there is no us anymore. This is between me and Cole. And Roddy just stares at him for an uncomfortably long amount of time. And I'm like, is he going to punch him in the face? I have expected him to, smack him or punch him or something. And finally he says, you know what? The both of you and Cole, can go to hell. So... yeah, just really driving that stake home that Undisputed Era, there is no reconciliation here. The faction is done. Fine enough segment. And then he tells Mackenzie, does that answer your question? So I thought Kyle was fine here. I thought the pause was a bit too long. Maybe Roddy could just trim it next time. But it got his point across. Do you have anything you want to say about this?
Maybe Foster's right. Maybe Roddy forgot his lines.
Maybe. That very well could be. So skip. Next thing we're talking about is the Walter vignette talking about how the mat is sacred and just putting over Imperium.
Dude, I don't ever want to stop liking Walter. I really hope that this dude isn't an absolute piece of shit. He's so good.
Walter really is, the best way I can put it, from title reign down to how he carries himself. He really is, one of those legit 80s fucking wrestlers, but that, is actually magnetic to contemporary audiences.
Yeah,
I think he's the closest
He genuinely is, the next generation of, that Goldberg, Brock Lesnar type of performer. He is a fucking an attraction.
Exactly. And like, you know, like I said, I already compared him, I think, last week to like a Bruno Sammartino because he's just shy of having been NXT UK champion for 2 years, which in this fucking era is insane.
In this fucking economy.
And a 2-year title reign in this economy. But yeah, man, Walter really is like, I haven't even seen every Walter match, even with him as NXT UK champion, but like when I do see him, you just know that you're witnessing something special. Yeah. You're witnessing really like a once-in-a-generation kind of phenomenon to me. So kudos to him, man. Skipping Cross versus Lorcan, because fuck that QAnon Cross. I forget what somebody called him with the QAnon in his name, but it was pretty funny. However, I do want to talk about our devilishly handsome, fucking amazing NXT champion, Finn Balor, who cut an amazing promo, but I feel like I haven't let you really talk a lot. So how did you feel about this promo tonight?
You know what? I was so conflicted on this promo. I really was, because like there's almost a certain level of toxic masculinity to the whole like, oh, you're letting your emotions get the best of you type sentiment. But at the same time, Balor's just so fucking good at making it believable and making it like it's almost like he didn't even mean to say it in that way. It's like he wasn't even saying like, oh, don't let your emotions get the best of you. He was saying like, dude, Scarlett is a liability for you. Like, saying at the end of the day. And like in storyline, in kayfabe, I think last week proved that he's absolutely right about that sentiment. And I just think that he basically gave himself, and unfortunately Cross, a strategy that would make it believable for him to beat Cross at TakeOver. So if he beats Cross at TakeOver, I'm fully expecting it to be because he takes Cross's liability in Scarlett, take advantage of that. He would take advantage of that. Like he would hold her up and maybe Cross would stop and hesitate, and then Balor would be able to go in and hit forearms and like get an advantage and stuff. Like if Balor is going to win against Cross, to me, that is NXT's out, where they can say, oh, Cross was tougher and he was a better fighter, but Balor found his one weakness, and that's Scarlett. You know what I mean?
I mean, I have experience with this with other characters watching wrestling, so he just needs to encase Scarlett in oatmeal, and then he'll be good. You know, be able to beat Balor, no fucking problem.
Yeah, the Undertaker strat, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
But wasn't in kayfabe, wasn't that supposed to be concrete?
Yes. But of course I'm an asshole and I have to say what it actually was. I love this. Like, I didn't even really think about the vantage point that you looked at it from, so I do appreciate that, because I didn't even think about it in that way. Why I love this, though, is because, like, what a fascinating character study into Finn Balor, like, post-Fiend. Because before the Fiend and all that happened, like, people would dunk on him on Twitter, like, oh, there's Smiling Finn. People forgetting that he was, like, one of the best in-ring guys in the world at that point, you know, with his New Japan tenure and everything, and that's why WWE, like, snatched him up. So he goes from Smiling Finn, rubbing baby oil on his abs on Twitter, to being like, oh, and when you do show your emotions, I'm going to drag you into the cold water, and I'm going to drown you. Holy fuck, dude! And the way he said it, again, guys, anybody that's even listened to 5 minutes of this show knows that I have no problem shooting my mouth off. But if Finn said that to me, I'm like, you're serious, aren't you? Like, I can't even talk shit. It's kind of like when the Punisher puts the gun in Joker's face, and Joker's like, oh, I really do need help. I just need an intervention. I got all the help you need right here, funny man. Joker dawns on him like, oh my God, you're really going to do it. You're really going to pull the trigger. And that's the same thing. Like, yeah, I believe Finn. When he says he's going to end you, and that's the thing, he doesn't even look like a monster character. He doesn't look like a Braun or a Cross or anything like that. But he has such confidence in himself, and he speaks with such conviction. It's intimidating as fuck. I'm loving. I am loving. I mean, honestly, I feel like his reign, I don't know if it's even getting close to like his first NXT title reign. I love you, Foster. But even if it was getting close, like in terms of length, it just feels so different. I'm having so much more fun with this title reign than I did his first one. Like, so much more fun with it.
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair. Just because, like, the first run felt very much like a generic babyface, like, face of the company type title run, where it's almost like autopilot, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It feels like he's actively doing his best to make sure that the title picture stays entertaining and interesting.
I mean, bro, like, he's talking his shit, man. Like, that's really what it comes down to. Finn is talking his shit. I know that these are all, like, work promos, but I want to believe that Finn goes to the back and he's like, yep, fucking killed it. All right, next one. And he knows. He's in a rhythm right now where I think if you're not talking about him as one of the best workers in the world and really one of the best champions of this pandemic era, because I would say him and Reigns, and I know I've given Drew a lot of credit, but I think Finn, in terms of like the promo delivery and the match delivery, I think he's kind of outpaced Drew a little bit for me. So really it's Roman and Finn as far as like the male champions go that have just been so good. And yeah, just I love this promo. And see, even Foster, who he'll bag on Cole any chance he gets for his height, and I'm waiting for it when we get to more Cole centric stuff. But even he says, like, yeah, Finn's kind of intimidating. That's what I'm saying, Foster. You don't, nah, like I ain't fucking with Balor, no way. Speaking of promos, we do get a Kushita promo, very brief, just says he respects Jordan Devlin. But that Devlin's about to climb in the ring with the best technical wrestler in NXT.
You caught that, right? Yeah,
I did. I know you caught it. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it might have been Super Blue even that pointed out that it was Kushita, just because he's such a hardcore Kushita mark. And my first thought, normally, when somebody brings up the best of something and Super Blue's like, Kushita, I'd be like, oh, yeah, how about no? But the whole technical wrestler thing, it's more of oh, you know what? That's kind of how he's perceived. That might be right. You probably are onto something there, Super Blue. And now this happens tonight, where Kushita literally calls himself the best technical wrestler. I'm like, oh, okay. He's shouting up Pete Dunne. And then Dunne later on had a promo where he talked about it and said no one answered it. So I guess that was like a pre-tape. And now he's got to target Kushita. I thought he'd target Kushita in the Devlin match, and he just didn't. That was so weird to me.
He's waiting for his time. But yeah, I think I forgot to add in my notes, because I'm assuming it came after this, Regal talking about what's going to happen with the North American Championship. And I think it's a really clever idea. What did you think about Regal's announcement for the North American title?
Yeah, dude, I absolutely loved this concept, and I'm a really big fan of most of the field. Like, it's a really strong field. I know Bronson Reed's in it, and there are some weaker candidates, but like, we got Swerve, we got Grimes, we got fucking Loomis, who I hope wins the whole thing. I really, really want it to be Loomis Gargano. At this point, I mean, Foster even mentioned earlier, Loomis beat Gargano one-on-one. There's no reason for it not to be Loomis. I really hope he wins the match. And more importantly, I'm going to take it a step further and say I really hope he beats Johnny for the North American title. It really should be his time. It should have been his time months ago. But they were stalling with the Grimes feud. I thought that was so weird. It should be one of their times, really.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely, even just wanting to respect the rules of wrestling, like Loomis again beat Gargano in a non-title match. Yeah. But even beyond that, like, there are guys that, because who all was in the field again? It's fucking okay. Loomis, Grimes.
Yeah, let's try and name all 12, because there's 12. So Loomis, Grimes, Reed, Dunn, Ruff.
Yes. Strong. Roderick Strong.
Roderick's in it? Oh, I didn't even see that. Okay.
How many did we name there?
7.
Oh dear God! Those five other people are gonna win it.
God, who else is in it? Oh, Theory's in it.
Oh God, really? Ugh.
Jake Atlas is in it. Tyler Rust, that's right. Tyler Rust is in it.
Tyler Rust, I would not mind, but he's kind of a tweener right now to me, so no way. Kushita is in it.
Okay, so that's 11. We're short 1.
I
already counted.
Oh, wait, is that fucking LA Knight? I think LA
that's
Knight's
who it was.
fucking in this.
Yep. That's why we forgot him, because fuck him.
Exactly. So yeah, let's go Loomis, and despite my misgivings, I wouldn't mind Grimes, Swerve, obviously, Tyler Rust I'd pop for. Yeah, I think those 3 guys are the only people that I'd really tolerate. Yeah. And Strong wouldn't be bad. If Strong's going babyface, which I don't know, that wouldn't be bad either.
I mean, yeah, I guess after tonight. It's hard to tell with Grimes, though, because, like, he has a very heelish gimmick, but he's such a comedy relief character that he could be a face.
Yeah, that's very true. But But I know the last time we saw him in the ring, he actually beat Bronson Reed because of LA Knight, so it seems like he's still a heel right now.
True, good point.
So yeah, I think it's a great concept because they do the Battle Royal, and then the final 6 guys, I guess whoever wins the Battle Royal after the final 6 gets the best spot in the gauntlet. They get to come out last, whereas, the next person to get eliminated would just come out in the gauntlet first. So it's both a Battle Royal and a gauntlet, which should be, again, incredibly interesting. And yeah, let's hope that Loomis wins it. So after that, we get Walter versus Maverick. I mean, dude, Jesus Christ, Walter murdered Maverick.
Dude, this is what a squash match should fucking look like. Jesus Christ, this was so good.
I thought he was done after the powerbomb, but he's like, oh wait, there's more for you.
Yeah.
And then he puts him in a half crab that looks so fucking devastating. Maverick just passes out. Referee immediately calls for a bell.
Fucking police illegal kneel down style Boston Crab.
Yeah, dude, it was savage. Like, holy fucking shit. And then after that, their Imperium's exuding their dominance, which is really easy to do when you've got a behemoth like Walter in the ring. Ciampa comes out looking very gray and old.
I asked my mom how old she thought Ciampa was, and her first instinct was to say 50. And I was like, oh, come on, he's not that old. And she goes, okay, you're probably right. He's not that old. What about 45? He's only 35 years old.
Wait for it. Oof.
Big oof. Holy shit.
Or, since Walter's in the ring, das oof. So...
You even got my mom with that one.
So, because I'm clearly feeling myself, because somebody has to when Ciampa's in the ring, and, I'm just really glad he didn't reference Howdy Doody in his promo. He says that he was wrong. The NXT UK Championship, that intrigues him. God, Ciampa's such a gold whore. Like, he knows. Like, if I keep losing matches, I become less relevant. And I'm me. Do you remember, dude? Because I actually went back and I watched some old shit. Do you remember when Ciampa was the shit in NXT? Like, the fucking heel?
Yeah, it literally came out with no entrance theme. His entrance theme was the sound of the crowd's boos. It was amazing.
It was a simpler time, wasn't it?
Except now, he probably could get that nuclear heat back if he tried, but he's supposed to be a face. We're supposed to like him. Ew.
Yeah.
We're supposed to.
Yeah, and there was a point in time that I was convinced that he'd never turn heel again. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I know he'd turn heel IRL.
Yeah, I mean, if he thinks we'll support him, he's treading a very thin line. Put the chub back in your pants, though. It's not blue. So, calm down there, Boomer.
Dude, you mentioned thin, and I was going to be like his hairline.
Oh, you're a part of it. So, yeah, essentially, that match is made for NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. I think that's night 1. Walter, Ciampa, NXT UK Championship. Kill him, Walter. Yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah. It's so weird, too, because I thought for the longest time that Balor was going to be the one to beat Walter for the NXT UK title, just because, they built him with, a big deal, and then it seemed like he was going to go over to NXT UK. That was around this time last year, when COVID hit and just completely halted all travel, so that's not really an option anymore. I'm really not sure who Walter's the next NXT UK champion is going to be. Walter might just hold it forever.
Yeah, or, dude, honestly, on some real shit, I'm half expecting him to pull an Asuka and just, vacate the title, because, who else is there for me to beat?
Yeah. And frankly, Christ, obviously Vince McMahon and I do not think similarly in any way whatsoever. He is a fucking boomer and a piece of shit, and apparently has a very, very bad eye for talent, because this is also the guy that was ready to give up on Steve Austin before Austin insisted on getting another chance, and he just gave in to him. And that kind of shit. So, obviously we don't think alike. But if I was in the position that Vince McMahon was in right now, I would be building a WrestleMania streak. A WrestleMania undefeated streak for Walter. He would be my next Brock and Undertaker all in one. He would be maybe showing up for 4 pay-per-views a year, maybe the big 4 specifically, to wrestle, to defend a title of some kind. Maybe it would be the NXT title. Maybe he would just win the Universal title, and the WWE Championship would become like the de facto world title and could be on both brands. And the Universal title is like this special above everything else type of thing that only gets defended on big 4 pay-per-views kind of thing. Like, you could make such a big fucking deal out of this dude. He literally has the look and the legitimacy to be another Brock, another Goldberg, another Undertaker. There's so much you could get out of him, and I just feel like Vince has no fucking clue what he has in him, and it's really sad.
I think you said it better than I could, so I'm not going to stand here and belabor the point. After that, we get a Pete Dunne quick promo putting over, the Battle Royal, saying that, he said he's the best technical wrestler, and I invited somebody to, prove me wrong. Nobody took him up on that, so next week, he's going to prove it. And NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, he is going to be wearing NXT Gold again, pretty much saying that he will become the North American champion. So after that, we get a recap of Mercedes getting paid off by the Robert Stone brand to take Jessi Kamea's place for the tag team title match tonight. And, they give her like a envelope full of money, and then she's like, new deal. This is the first half. I get the second half after the match. Stone is freaking out. I actually was glad to see him show a bit of personality here. I thought they've really reined him in, and I still think they've kind of reined him in to a point, but he was a bit more expressive tonight, which is really cool to see.
This felt like the Robert Stone that I got used to loving.
Exactly. Yeah, this is definitely more of a return to form, which is great to see. After that, we get Johnny Gargano confronting William Regal. I feel like I heard you laughing with this promo, so I feel like Johnny's kind of got a line to both of our funny bones. What did you think about this?
Oh, God, what was the fucking insult that he used on Regal when he was just like...
Didn't he say you're cuckoo bananas or something?
Cuckoo bananas! That's what killed me! God damn it, Johnny. I think it was the way that he prefaced it, too, because he was just like, now, I don't want to get in any trouble for this, and watch my language, but Regal, are you cuckoo bananas? And I was just like, you son of a...
That's such Full House energy. He DVRs it, and that shit was back in the 90s.
The fucking bait and switch, dude. The bait and switch.
Candace, I can't miss today's episode. It's when Michelle falls off her horse and gets amnesia.
But if you already know that, why do you need to watch the episode again?
Because it's a classic, Candace, like I am.
Now make me my chicken tendies.
Oh my god. So, he pretty much tells Regal, like, I've got to prepare. I've got to watch tape. And...
Full House.
But Regal, I love Regal. See, Regal's got the proper old
fucking
man
Loomis
energy.
Loomis beats him, and he's just like, I knew I should have been watching Loomis tape. I didn't need to learn the lesson that family is the most important thing again.
Yeah, I already know the way.
Oh my god, it's super hot fire over here.
But Regal's got the proper old man energy, because you can just tell every time somebody walks in his goddamn office, he's like,
it's a menace.
I really, no. Like, I feel like he just wants to say, so Regal, that's why I should be number one contender. I hear you. No. And then just move on to the next thing. Like, this dude really doesn't give a fuck. Because he even tells Johnny, if I were you, I would begin studying. And, like, how's that for a novel idea? Like, he poured salt in it. He knew what he was doing.
You damn right he did, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ, Regal.
Oh, God,
you subdued savage. All right.
Oh, it's just...
We got women's tag titles here. Really not much to write home about. I mean, Ember and Shotzi, I feel like more or less dominated this thing.
Yeah, God, man. How have they managed to almost make it look like they might have thought about maybe pushing Mercedes Martinez in a way that she deserves, and then immediately drop the ball this fucking quickly?
That's why Io was spitting fire, man, in that promo on Mercedes. You're going to be chasing your dream forever. It's never going to end for you. I'm like, holy shit,
but
Io.
I don't want that to be a meta promo. What the fuck?
I kind of want to pull Io aside and be like, yo, Io, we're not ready for that conversation. What are you doing? God damn. I loved Robert Stone's temper tantrum at ringside after Aaliyah ate the pin. He's probably thinking, I miss Chelsea Green so much. Why did she leave me? So, yeah,
I miss
champs
Chelsea
retain.
Green, too. I'm hoping to see her back in the ring on Friday.
Hell yeah. After that, we get Cameron Grimes and Roderick Strong. Cameron Grimes more or less trying to buy EUE's intellectual property. I think about what I could do. The T-shirts and everything else, like, just having his vision. Roderick power right in the kisser. He was just like,
Cameron Grimes, undisputed. Well, no, that doesn't really work. To the moon, undisputed. And then he gets punched in the face.
You know what, dude? I know they didn't mean to do it, but, like, I even forget the name of the show. But, the guy that was like, one of these days, Alice, like, pow, right to the moon. And Cameron says to the moon, and Roderick punches him in the face. Like, that worked out perfectly, and they didn't even mean for it to.
It almost reminds me of that moment on Raw when Kurt Angle was just, like, looking off into nothingness, and Triple H socked him in the face, and there's that amazing image right before it happened where you just see Kurt Angle looking all innocent and cute, like, staring off, and Triple H is just taking that huge swing in his face.
He's like, he's distracted. Now's my chance. God damn.
Dude, I died laughing at that when that shit happened. That was the funniest thing ever.
But according to Cameron Grimes, that's not how you do business. And that's what he said to Roderick, and then the segment ended. After that, we get women's tag title segment. Ember and Shotzi talking about how great it was to TCB with Ember's Law. And then Indy and Candice...
Take care of business, by the way, for those of you that don't know.
Yeah, for you fucking boomers, because we're so ahead of the curve. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually really old on the inside.
Usually me. I've had to look that term up like 4 times.
It's okay. I once tweeted that I consult Urban Dictionary more than an actual dictionary. Time has left me behind. I'm a relic.
Dude, no, that's a fucking mood and a half, though.
Yeah, we can share the mood together. But yeah, Indy and Candice cut in, say, well, if you're looking for real competition, we're right here. Shotzi actually starts laughing, which, I mean, rude, but great.
Oh my god, I love it.
And Ember's like, well, my tag team champion partner, Ember, remind them at every turn, because you're really going to have to build those belts up with them being so new, is that we've already done this before. We have no problems doing it again. And I think they did a pun on the way, which Candice was like, ew. And then Candice just replied, well, this time we're going to do things our way, on our time, on our stage. And they kind of walk off. So I'm thinking, take off stand.
I'm challenging you, but not right now. Type energy.
Exactly. Skip this because it was like, wow, they really made the garbage look so OP here. The only thing worth noting is that Devlin and Escobar is probably going to be a ladder match now because HB Shizzle, shut the fuck up.
Dude, did you see HBK's growing his hair back and it's like curly on around his ears?
Dude, you're old. Just stop. Just stop. So after that, we get what we've all really been waiting for. Fucking Cole and O'Reilly confrontation. I'll just get ahead of it right now and say that we called it, because they are doing an unsanctioned match at TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Basically. It's going to be a co-main event, they said. Yeah. So...
Now, that's the thing, though, dude. We've seen it however many years ago, when an unsanctioned match co-main events with a world title match, the unsanctioned match goes on afterwards.
Yeah.
The world title match is the main event of the actual show, and then the official show ends, and the unsanctioned match begins.
Yes. And Vic Joseph even said to NXT, the last word he said was unsanctioned. Yeah. So I'm just going with that.
That's awesome. Good.
Yeah.
I like that he snuck that in there just as a way to make it feel really official. I like that.
Exactly.
Vic Joseph, but him being able to sneak that in was really, really smart and smooth.
Absolutely. So kind of working backwards there, just wanted to establish the end result before we get into the meat of the whole thing. I'm just going to keep this simple to give you the majority of the talking time. I mean, Cole's right. So I don't really know what we have to talk about. I think to me, and if there's anything the post-truth era has convinced me of in a post-undisputed era, is that when you say things with enough conviction and you look good while doing it, you're probably right. So, yeah, I just feel like Cole's in the right, and there's really not much discourse to be had here. Your thoughts?
I really enjoyed these promos, and I thought that Kyle's whole angle of, I sold my soul to the Undisputed Era and I want it back, I actually loved that line. I thought that was really fucking cool. I like that Kyle basically is realizing over the course of the last couple of years that him associating himself with the Undisputed Era has made more enemies, which is just going to end up being his downfall in the long run, and he wants to redeem himself. I absolutely love that story. It's not the story that I thought they would go for, but I do fucking love it. I think it's great. And like they were kind of telling that story with him on like the tail end of the Undisputed Era's run when he was like buddying up with Finn and like trying to get in nice with other people, and like you could tell he was really going like full face, basically post McAfee feud. I really thought that was really cool, and I think that them really kind of bringing that character full circle, I think it worked really, really well. I like it a lot.
Yeah, like I want to engage with Foster said because I think his, I don't want to call it a misgiving because that's like too strong. He did just say it felt kind of weird. I can understand that to a point because you've been riding with these guys the whole time and you're only now really vocalizing like, oh, we did things so wrong, like after it's already been done. However, I think that's also very human in a way because I feel like more often than not, our moral standards, we don't even reach our own moral standards, I feel like half the time.
Well, yeah, because like, it's like there is a certain feeling that you get when you feel like you're a part of something bigger and you're the cock of the walk and you are just on top of the world. And it's not until you really take a look at yourself in the mirror and kind of try and use some hindsight to like actually reflect rather than just kind of being like, oh yeah, I'm the shit, I'm awesome, nothing can touch me, that you realize certain things about yourself that you might not like. And I think that's kind of something that Kyle did last year, and he's just trying to make amends as best as he can, and I really appreciate the story that they're telling there.
I mean, I appreciate the Kyle character because I got my joking sentiments, you know, and I really did love Cole's promo here. But, you know, Kyle, I think, needs to be the focus because he is the babyface.
Yeah.
I love, again, I said it's very human because I don't think we even match our own moral standards a lot of the time, and that might be a pessimistic read on human nature. That's just personally how I feel at this point in time. So I actually find it fascinating that we have a character like Kyle that I think was okay with everything the Undisputed Era did because he believed, well, if you're going to do wrong with your friends. And if you're going to do good with your friends. But here's the thing. When you realize that they may not really be your friends, that really kind of fucks you up a bit because it makes you kind of go back over everything and think, you know, I thought we were doing this together. I thought we were friends when we were doing this. I thought it was building a bond. I love the line when he said, you know, I forget how he said it, but at the tail end he said, you know, only one of us became a better person of the four of us.
Yep.
And that was him. Yep. You know, I thought that was a great line. And yeah, like, I don't know. I think a character that can be openly vulnerable like that, like Kyle knows he was a part of something, and they got, like he said, you know, we've got heat with the general manager and with the locker room. And that's not the kind of career I want to have. You already mentioned the line about selling his soul to the Undisputed Era and wanting it back. You know, that was great. So Kyle, I mean, let me tell you something, guys. Now that Kyle's really ready to go on a serious singles run, this is Fave 5 material to me right here. I am really loving the fire that he's spitting, and again, the fire that he's wrestling with. And then, you know, afterwards, you know, he goes to sign it, and Cole's like, that's right, Kyle. You signed that death warrant.
Oh my God, ooh. Adam, you're so fucking corny. Jesus Christ.
I was about to say, oh my God, Daddy, you know, when you say it like that, I'll sign my death warrant. So
see, I
Kyle
had a complete different reaction to that. I was just like, oh wow, Adam, you sound like a fucking 13-year-old trying to scare someone away out of a fight in middle school.
How dare you people? I feel like everybody is ganging up on Adam Cole, mainly for his, I mean, did you see fucking Paul trying to be clever? Like,
dude, I promise you, there was a point in time that I was in middle school and some kid in a higher grade asked if I wanted to fight him, and I used something along those lines of like if you want to die, or if that's you going to sign your own death warrant kind of thing. Like, it's literally the most cringy teenage angst shit you can possibly say, and Adam Cole actually pulled that shit out on this press conference or whatever.
Maybe Adam Cole was working through some things. Has anybody ever bothered to empathize with what Adam Cole's going through?
Adam Cole working through some things involve acting like his height's age?
Go to your goddamn room. I will finish this goddamn show. I will pick your low shot and your high spot for you. Go to your room right now. So since I'm finishing this out because I sent him to his room.
Paul got it. Paul is in on the joke.
Oh my God. You're all excessively proud of this right now. How dare any of you? It really feels so weird because I know there was a point in time where I left the Church of Cole, and now I feel like I'm head minister now with all this disrespect. What's going on here? Wow, Javaris, you too. Just everybody. So then O'Reilly throws the pen at Cole. Cole flips the table over. I liked how fluid that was. Wasn't clunky. Real nice and quick, flip the table over. They go back face to face. They get restrained. It's good shit. Just real good shit. So I'm really excited for this unsanctioned match at TakeOver. Obviously, we'll be previewing it and predicting it very soon, within a couple weeks. So let's move on to high spots and low shots. Love you too, Javaris, and I'll think about it. My low shot, I'm going to say my low shot's Aaliyah. This is her first championship match in the company for, her entire tenure. And she got to back Mercedes Martinez, and no insult to Jesse, but, that's an upgrade.
I mean,
and you still
did you
lost.
see how she reacted when Mercedes accepted?
Yeah, she really thought that gold was hers. She's like, oh my God, I'm becoming a champion.
And then Stone was just like, I have no money.
Yeah, exactly. And so, because of you, because you ate the pin, your manager now has no money and you have no gold, and God knows when you'll get another title shot again because it took them this long to give you your first one. So, easiest low shot I've probably ever given. So, Aaliyah, yeah.
Fucking oof, mate.
Yeah, who's your low shot?
My low shot is, this is the easiest low shot I've ever given in my entire life. It's Drake Maverick. Come on.
Dude, he got abused. Holy shit.
This dude was in contention for the Cruiserweight Championship at one point. He was in contention for the fucking tag titles at one point. He's not a local talent. This dude really, he was a Cruiserweight Championship. He made it to the finals of that tournament. I think he won the tournament, didn't he? Or so he made it to the finals and then lost to Escobar. This dude was a big deal last year because there was the whole COVID releases thing, and then he made that Twitter promo, and then he got rehired, and then he started bootlicking immediately, and this dude's been made a big deal out of, and he got squashed like a local talent. Local talents put up more of a fight than he did tonight.
Yeah, if we're gonna make fun of people's heights, him standing next to Walter and wrestling Walter, this should have been vetted for child abuse because holy fucking shit. Yeah. So high spot. You know what? I'm gonna say my high spot. God, there are quite a few people I'd like to choose from. I think I'm just gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna say Ember and Shotzi, first title defense, and they've already held it longer than Dakota and Raquel Gonzalez, so they're already better women's tag team champions. So Ember's Law is taking care of business, to say the least. Choose your high spot.
My high spot is going to go to God, I really just want to give it to Santos Escobar for just looking as good as he did tonight, but I'll make him an honorary high spot. Actual high spot, I think I'm going to keep it simple, and I'm just going to give it to Shotzi and Ember because they had a tag title defense. Oh wait, you just gave it to Shotzi and Ember, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. Then fuck it, I'm going to give it to Kyle O'Reilly because he cut a really good promo tonight, and he's getting his hands on Adam Cole in an unsanctioned match, and I really like his character. And you even said yourself that he was Fave 5 material, so I'm seeing nothing but good things in O'Reilly's future.
Just to take a step back and give an honorary high spot, because I thought you were going to give it to this dude, and that's why I didn't pick. I wanted to see if one of us pick him. Honorary high spot, Walter, just for being fucking dominant tonight.
Yeah, I thought about just giving it to Imperium in general, but Walter now has to deal with Ciampa, so I didn't really feel like it was appropriate giving him a high spot.
Bro, giving it to him, and I know you didn't, but I'm just saying, whenever Walter's around and something is given to Imperium, that's like giving an entire group an A when only one student did 100% of the project.
But isn't that how it works when you're in school?
I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah. But yeah,
wait
Walter...
a minute. So I admittedly I was in the toilet or in the bathroom taking an LA Knight while his match was on. Did Bronson Reed beat him tonight?
He did. Yeah.
Fucking hilarious. I didn't even know.
And while I will say I really don't care for LA Knight, I'm utterly bored by Bronson Reed. I wanted to say too, just so that Bronson Reed doesn't mistake me actually respecting him, because I don't. The most entertaining thing about you is Wade Barrett calling your finish. So there you go. Yeah. So with that said, this has been NXT. This has been TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my co-writer and commentary, Ashton. Guys, be sure to like the video as you file out. The more likes you leave, the more likely we are to be the top search result for NXT reviews on YouTube. And when you're the best at what you do, the top is the only place that you belong. So please leave that like, click the bell icon, and subscribe so that you can keep up with all that TWitWoW goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us both on Twitter. I'm at John_TWitWoW. He's at Ashton_TWitWoW. And you're going to want to follow us on Twitter because mainly my pinned tweet is to collect Q&A questions. Q&A is tomorrow. I couldn't believe it. I thought about it earlier today, and I'm like, holy shit, where did that come from? But yeah, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time is Q&A. Now, if you're a non-Patreon donor, you get 3 Q&A questions. However, if you donate $1 to the Patreon, you get 2 additional questions for a total of 5. Now, if I were you personally, I would donate $3 and I would get the Q&A questions, but I would also get access to the TWitWoW Discord server. Great Discord, wonderful people. We do Among Us Mondays. That's a fun thing. Unfortunately, some people have been having internet issues, but we still get some really quality games in. I enjoyed last Monday immensely.
Can I
you
just
know you
say,
want to get on that.
Obviously, it's enabled by the shitty government and the capitalist system that exists that makes it possible. But at the same time, fuck the United States of America's goddamn ISPs straight to hell.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Talk about trash. Comcast, Xfinity, whatever the fuck you want to call themselves. Go fuck yourselves. Verizon, you probably too. I don't even know anything about Verizon. Definitely, John, what was yours again?
TDS.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, TDS. I mean, at least TDS is willing to give you coverage, even if it is absolute garbage coverage at a ridiculous price. Like, yeah, fuck internet service providers in the U.S., and more importantly, fuck the United States government for not making the internet a utility.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the camp of internet is a human right. So, succulents and get on that. Yeah.
Sure.
Donate $3, get on the Discord. And so, yeah, Q&A tomorrow, 7 p.m. Get in on that. Just to go over the schedule for the rest of this week, it is literally Q&A tomorrow at 7. And then Friday, March 26th, we've got a Stardom show that we're covering at 5, which is looking very likely. They already had 3 matches uploaded. And I'm assuming this is another 5-match card. And so it's March 21st, live reactions. It'll be at 5 p.m. And then 10 p.m., we get post-Fastlane SmackDown. We're going to be reviewing it, not live reacting to it, but I'm very curious what Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan will be doing on that show, and Edge, who was looking very angry and old at Fastlane. So we'll have to see how that develops.
You know, it's sad, though, when Tommaso Ciampa unironically looks like he could be at least Edge's age, if not older.
Yeah. And then, nothing for the weekend and nothing Monday, and then we'd be back Tuesday, the 30th, for a Stardom March 26th Korakuen show live reactions. It'll be at 4 p.m. Eastern time, because Korakuen shows tend to go a bit longer.
Wait, which Korakuen show is this?
March 26th you have on the schedule.
Oh, when is this?
March 30th. That we're live reacting to it, but at March 26th is the day of the show.
So that's Tuesday, right? Like this coming Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, okay. And then March 31st, we got another Stardom show. March 28th, 5 p.m. Eastern time. And then another NXT review as we continue marching along to NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. And I'm just going to stop there because April is just a whole different month and we're still got a little bit left to March. So with that said, guys, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and keep up with our wrestling content. Until then, tune in. Peace out.